It's beer o'clock again on the Real Ale Guide. Today's beer is a beer from the Bristol Beer Factory and it's a bottle of their Gold. Here you go. Coming in at 5% ABV. Now, I love a good golden ale. All of the beers I've drank from Bristol Beer Factory have been absolutely fantastic. There's the gold bottle cap there. Let's get this beer into a glass. See what we get. It's a golden light coloured beer, loads of carbonation clinging to the side of the glass. It's a one finger head, it's white, it's fluffy, loads of carbonation up the centre of the glass, rising up as well. I want to get a nose onto this beer then. And it's just really kind of nice, and it's just a golden ale. Slightly malty, slightly hoppy. Hint of citrus. I'm going to get into this one. Cheers everyone. Oh, that is really good. This for me is a little bit of their Bristol Beer Factory 7, which is a biscuity, malty, lovely kind of traditional best bitter, and more of their kind of, it's a hopped up version of that. It's really so satisfying to drink. It's a medium mouthfeel, but it's a roastedness. This is quite unusual. There's a roastedness to the beer. It's toffee, it's caramel, chewy toffee and chewy caramel. The caramels and the toffees that's supposed to be in the beer. I do not mean butterscotch for any minute or any second at all in this beer review. And it's good. It's really good. And it's hoppy as well. Nice bitter backbone of citrus and pine. But the main thing I'm getting from this beer, and I am a bit of a traditionalist when it comes to this type of good beers, is there's a lot of aspects to a good best bitter. Now, when I say best bitter, a few of you out there watching might go, oh no. It's kind of almost an old-fashioned thing to say now. It's very 1990s, very 1980s. But because it all started to go very, very wrong. The big producers of these best bitters were watering them down. They were adding E numbers to the beer, and they just weren't the best bitters of old. We all know who these companies are, but you get a good best bitter from a small brewery, how a best bitter should be. And me personally, I love them. I think they're absolutely, you can't beat a good best bitter. This is a combination of that, but it's got a nice hoppy twist on the end. Satisfying. There's just something about the beer that is really, it's just pulling me in. It's just making me want to sip it and sip it and sip it. The water's so very fresh, so very clean, so very soft. Because let's not forget, water in this beer is probably 97% of the beer. And there's not a lot of beer reviews out there that talk about the water quality, and it's so important. You could have the best hops, the best malt, and the best yeast in a beer, but if the water's not right, it's the majority of the beer. If you have bad water, then you just forget it. Absolutely forget it. It's lemony, it's piney, it's bitter, it's biscuity. It's so chewy, digestive, biscuity. It's fresh bread. I love the fact that their malts are so... The malts they've used in this beer, oh, man. It's hard for me to stand here and describe just how good this beer is. It's a take on new and a take on good old, good best bitter. It's a case of new with the hops, old with the best bitter. It's, wow. Okay. I'm not going to stand and marvel over the beer bottle too long, but if you want to contact Bristol Beer Factory, it is bristolbeerfactory.co.uk. check them out. But for me, this gets a high rating for me. I think they make it. I think a lot of people think, or not a lot of people, but there's probably people out there that associate Bristol Beer Factory with their good dark beers, their milk stout, their imperial stouts. They're wonderful, but they've shown to me that they've sent some beers over to me that have been light and golden, and they're up there with the very best light golden beers and best bitters in this country as far as I'm concerned. So for that reason, the water quality, the biscuity malt, the lovely hop flavours, the yeast aspect, the water is so important for this beer. I'm going to give it a 9 out of 10. It's a 9 out of 10 beer from the Real Ale Guide. It is a wonder of a beer. Okay, thanks for watching me, the Real Ale Guide. Put your comments in the comments box. Subscribe to my daily beer reviews, and cheers. Pardon me. Cheers.